Hey, 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 good evening. Happy Tuesday to you. This is your Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated, where I am known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert. I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and you got it. Get your dreams out of your head into your life. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I know for so many, we're trying to stay warm. I know that there are some that do not have power, so we are praying for those that do not have power. We are praying for those that do not have heat. If there's anything that we could do to help someone, let's do that. And let's always keep our prayer lines open where we are praying for those and we're praying for ourselves. We're in a time where there's so much that is going on, but we don't have to dwell in those areas, right? And so, are you solution driven? I'm trying to close up some windows here. Are you solution driven or are you problem based? So what does that mean? So I think just in life, not even with what's going on today, are you looking for solutions to propel yourself forward to go to the next level, or are you stagnant? We're in the second month of a new year after making it through 2020. We know that there was a lot that was going on, and even at the beginning of this year, and even now, there's still a lot that is going on. But we don't have to just sit in it. There are some things that we can be doing along the way. And so my question is, are you just sitting in the problems and the things that you're facing, the circumstances and situations? Or are you looking for solutions? Are you looking for answers? Are you, still looking forward to living the life of your dreams? Or have you allowed life to kind of trample over you to say that, I can't do any better. This thing is not going to work. It's too hard. It's not possible. But I want you to know that it is possible. It may be hard, but it's still possible. It may be a little difficult, but it's still possible. And so we have to always keep hope alive, because when we lose hope, we have a problem. So we want to always keep hope alive and always, have an open mind, always looking for an opportunity to say that, I am not giving up or giving in. So we want to, ensure that we're always looking for options. We're expecting for our outcomes to change, because we can expect our outcomes to change because we know what we're going to put into it. We know what we're going to do. We know what we're not going to settle for. We know what we're not going to just sit back and take, right? So we know that there is always hope when you keep hoping. There's always hope, so don't take the all for nothing approach to feel like, this thing is not working, so nothing will work. Something will work. It may not work where you are, but it'll work somewhere. Now, sometimes it requires us to make some decisions that, sometimes we don't want to make. We don't want to make the move. We don't want to make the transition, because we're used to what we're used to. And so we have to make decisions to say that this may not be working for me here. This may not be working for me in this place with these people doing this thing, but there is something out there. When you think about the law of polarity, there's an equal opposite of everything that happens. So if there's some bad things, there's some good things, and they both exist in the same place at the same time. And so don't be discouraged. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be discouraged when you're having to face certain things. And remember, it may not be where you are, but we may have to make some decisions to be where it is, because it is out here. It is out here. And so I'm just excited. And I know, we've been doing some things a little bit different. This is a year that we're going to have to be serious about the things that we do. Right? This is not just a year for us to continue to learn new things and do nothing with it, but this is a year of execution. This is a year of taking action. This is a year of change and turnaround, triumphant. This is a year that we're going to do things in a different manner because we're looking for a different result. Good evening, Belinda. Thank you so much for joining. This year, we're going to stick to our commitments. This year, we're going to do the things that are necessary for us to see the change that we desire. We're going to begin to live the life that we desire and that we deserve. Come on. We're going to live the lives that we desire and that we deserve. It is time for us to stop just accepting the default, right? It's time for us to stop just accepting default as our way of living and understand that we have options. There are options. We have options. And so it's time for us to start walking in our options and to know that we don't have to just settle for what we've been given. We don't have to just settle for what we see. There is something on the other side. So I'm just super excited that we are not going to be problem based, but we're going after solutions. We're looking for solutions. We're looking for solutions for our pain points. We're looking for solutions for the things that are hindering us and holding us back. We're looking for solutions. We're going to be solution driven and not problem based. Come on. We're going to be solution driven and not problem based. We're not going to just sit somewhere and continue to talk about our problems and continue to talk about what we don't like and continue to talk about what's not working. What we're going to do is identify what is not working and come up with a plan. Good evening, Miss Rose. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to identify the things that are in our life, the things that are in our lives that we feel that are not working for us, and we're going to find a solution. It's time for us to be solution driven and not problem based. Where we stay in the problem, where we continue to be unhappy, where we continue to settle, where we continue to put up with things that are not serving us. Good evening, Dolores. Thank you so much for joining. We need to be in an area and with people and doing things that are serving us to make us a better person, to make the place where we are a better place. And so we have to be solution driven. So my question tonight is, are you solution driven or problem based? Are you a part of the problem? Do you dwell on the problem? Or do you say, I found the problem, I have a problem, I've discovered a problem. Now my next step is I'm looking for a solution. I'm not going to spend 80% of my time talking about the problem and 10% of my time doing nothing about the problem. And the other 10% complaining about the problem. No, we got to put more effort in coming up with a solution. What is it about your life, about a situation that you're familiar with, that you know you have a solution for, that you know that you will be willing to find a solution for? Why is it that so many times when things begin to happen, we just let that be the default, that it happened and we got to accept it? We do not have to accept everything about a thing that we do not like. You don't like the life that you're living, change it. You don't like the things that you're doing, change it. A lot of us feel like I have to. There's no other choice. No, we don't. We don't. We don't. A lot of people sit in places because they're comfortable. They're comfortable. I wrote down something. I don't know if I can find it. Maybe, hold on. Yes, I got it right here. I wrote down, I said, a lot of people are comfortable. Well, get out of that comfort zone. Yes, a lot of people have this false sense of certainty, safety, and comfort. And those three things will keep you in a place you really don't enjoy being. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people have a false sense of certainty, safety, and comfort, and you will find yourself staying in a place that you do not enjoy being. And why do you stay there? Good evening, Darlene. Thank you so much for joining. Why do you stay in places that you really don't enjoy being? Because it gives you a false sense of security. It gives you a false sense of certainty, and it gives you a false sense of comfort and safety. And when you feel like you're secure and safe and you're certain, really, a lot of times we're sitting in places that we're really certain that we're uncertain about, but we stay in those places because it's in our comfort zone, because we're afraid of what we don't know. We're afraid of what's on the other side. And a lot of people will stay in situations and continue to do things just because they're familiar with it. Familiar, but don't like it. Familiar and not growing. Familiar and not happy. So how many of us are going to continue to stay in situations that we're not happy with, that we're not growing with, that we're not loving, enjoying, that we're staying in a place because we have a false sense of certainty, a false sense of safety, and a false sense of comfort. How could you be comfortable in an uncomfortable place? A place that you don't feel love, a place that you don't even feel liked, a place that you're not happy, a place that you're not thriving. You were born to thrive. You were born to live a life that you enjoy. Life is not about living it and loving struggle. It's not about, how long could you stay in the struggle, how hard you are when you can stay in the struggle. That's not what life is about. It's about getting up and going through, knowing that it's not easy. But if you keep going, knowing that your going is worth it, knowing that what you're going for on the other end, on the other side, when you get there, that it was worth everything that you went through, every lesson that you learned. So what are you growing through? Not going through. Oh, that's good. What are you growing through? Stop thinking about what you're going through. I'm going through this and I'm going through that. So much going on. I'm going through. What are you growing through? The things that you go through, you should be growing through. There should be lessons that are learned that you're able to apply. That you're able to apply, to thrive, to share, that you are able to apply. So when you go through something, you ask, how am I growing in this? How am I growing through this problem? How am I growing through this situation? How am I growing? So are you solution driven? Or are you problem-based? Are you just talking about what you're going through instead of what you're growing through? Are you not talking about the lessons that you have learned? See, a lot of us, it's bad, but it's true. A lot of us, we will stay in the pain of what we went through instead of us taking the lesson. Drop the pain off. Shed the pain off. Take it off. You have to take it off. Take the pain off. And somebody is saying it's not that easy. It's easier than you think. It's a decision. You have to make a decision. There's freedom and liberty in choice. When you make the choice to make, when you take advantage of making a choice and you choose to continue to go through a thing. Because see, going through a thing is going through a thing. Suffering through a thing is different. You suffer when you continue to go through the same thing over and over because you repeat it. And you keep going through the same thing because you didn't grow through it. You're still going through it. You got to say, I'm growing through it to where I am expanded and I'm getting so big that this thing cannot keep me in here. Can't keep me contained. Can't keep me down, can't keep me depressed, can't keep me stressed, can't keep me unhappy, can't keep me. You have to grow through it. And when you grow, you expand. And when you grow, you can't, even when you grow in your physical body, you can't wear the same clothes when you get to growing too big. You can't wear the same clothes. When you get to growing too big, you have to move. So that's the way we have to be in our problems. We have to grow with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. We have to grow in our forgiveness and peace and joy, grow in our happiness. And when we grow in those areas, we will outweigh depression and sadness. We will outweigh those things that are trying to take us out and bring us down because we're growing. I'm growing. We have to grow through the things that we go through. And when we grow through, we will become solution driven and not problem based. We won't continue to talk about those things that are not serving us, those things that are not helping us grow to be better, to go farther, to do more, to be more. We will talk about those things that are taking us literally to the next level. Are you ready? Are you ready? Some people are afraid to go to the next level. They're afraid to let go. You know, we say the thing, let go and let God. We say the thing, we say let go and let God, but we're still holding on. Good evening, Princess. Thank you so much for joining. We are still holding on. So when you think about what are you growing through that you are going through, are you ready? Are you ready? I see you, Belinda. We got to be ready to grow while we're going through things. And when we expand so big that we can't stay in the same place, we cannot experience the same experience. We cannot have the same hurt, the same pain, because we are growing while we are going through what we're going through. We are expanding beyond that thing that it cannot continue to contain your peace, your joy. It cannot continue to contain you to where you cannot have the peace, the joy, the happiness that you are looking to have. What are you growing through? Stop thinking that I'm going through so much and I'm going through this and I'm going through that. I'm growing. I am growing. I am growing. Every problem, every situation, every circumstance I face, everything, every fiery dot that is thrown, I'm growing. I'm growing to be a better person. I'm growing to be a better person. We have to know that it is time for us to grow and not just go. We got to grow in our goings. When we're going through some things, we have to grow. We have to grow. We have to be solution-based. Good evening, Missionary Joanne. Thank you so much for joining. We have to be solution-based. We have to be solution-driven and not problem-based. Not where we're spending more time talking about our problem than we are our solution. What is the solution to that problem? What do you want the answer to be? How do you need to act? What do you need to do in order for you to get to the next level? Because I'm going to tell you something. If you always stand in park, you're not going to get where you're going. If you never put it in reverse, if you never put it in drive, even if you put it in neutral, you can move. Come on. You got to do something different. It's time to do something different. We have to be solution driven and not problem based, where we're staying in that pain. Good evening, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining. We're staying in that area, but we're saying, you know, I'm going to be a part of the solution and not the problem. I am going to be solution driven and not problem based. And when I go through things, when I'm faced with situations and circumstances, that I am going to grow while I go. Come on. When you grow while you go, you cannot stay in the same container that you have always been in. You will begin to see new levels. And you know there are new levels on every level. You know there's new things that you have to face. Good evening, Lenora. Thank you so much for joining. You know there are new things that you're going to have to do on every level that you go on. But you're going to know more because you grew on the last level. We can't focus on the problem. But we have to be focused on the problem. We got to be a focused problem solver. We got to be focused on the solution. Don't spend all your time on what's wrong. You spend more of your time on what's right and how you can make it better. You spend most of your time on what is right. Good evening, Carolyn. Thank you so much for joining. And how you can make it better. When you are in gratitude for what is right, even in a problem, you will begin to grow. You spend most of your time on what is right. And the rest of the time you spend it in gratitude, and you will find that you would have liberty. You would have liberty. Do you know just talking about a thing can make you be miserable? You know you can conjure up an emotion by talking about a thing. You can live back in an instance, in a case, just by regurgitating the words. You begin to feel that pain. You have to say, I am growing in what I'm going through, and I'm expanding so big that thing cannot contain me. I can't stay where I was. I'm not going to feel like I was. I'm not going to do like I was, because it's time for me to be better, be different, be more. It's time for me to have more, achieve more. It's time for me to accomplish more. It's time for us to be solution driven and not problem based. It's time. I'm super excited, because when you think about the energy that you put into your problems versus you putting that same energy into your solution, and you can be out of that thing before you know it, because you're growing. You're growing. When you are able to forgive, you're growing. When you are able to forgive, and I'm talking about fully forgive, I'm talking where you immerse yourself, where if they're hungry, you're able to feed them. When they're thirsty, you're able to give them something to drink. I'm talking about stop telling yourself that you forgive, but you're not going to forget. I want you to forgive and forget. I want you to forget more than you remember on purpose. I want you to forget more than you remember on purpose. I want you to remember how you grow. I want you to remember your joy, your peace, your happiness. I want you to remember what makes you smile and what made you smile. And the things that made you smile, I want you to go back and grab those things. I want you to go back and get those things. When you find yourself in a place that is trying to take you out and bring you down, just start being grateful. Just start being so grateful. Just start being so grateful. You cannot be in gratitude and thanking God for what you have and start feeling a certain way. It's just something about it. It is something about it. I need you to be solution driven and not problem based. If you're trying to figure out something in your business, your bank account, your body, I need you to be looking for a solution. Don't keep talking about what you don't have, what you can't do, what's not working, what's not going to work, what you're not. Don't talk about that. You talk about, I'm going to do this thing. I may fail, I may fall, I may not get there, but I'm going to die trying. You got to keep on putting your efforts in where you want to go and not where you've been, because where you've been is not going to get you there. It's what you do now. It's how you handle this thing now. What are you doing now? Don't worry about the relationship that didn't work. How you gonna make the one work that you're in or the one you're getting ready to get in? But listen, don't get in a relationship when you need to be working on yourself. I know. Because see, a lot of time, that's what I'm telling myself now. Yes. See, a lot of times we'll get into relationships when there's some work that we need to do with us. Because, see, one is a whole number. You don't need two people to be a whole person. You need to be one by yourself. Listen, you need to be one by yourself. And, so we got to get at a point that we okay being one, that we okay. You got to check yourself and say, I'm okay. I am okay while I'm working on this thing. I am not going to give up on myself. I'm not going to give up on my solution. I am not going to give up on my success, because this is mine for the winning. This is mine for the getting. You got to know that you're responsible for your own happiness. Don't put that burden on somebody else, because if you can't make yourself happy, they can't either. And a lot of people that we're dependent on to make us happy, they can't make themselves happy, because if they knew what to do, they would have already done it by now. If they had the solution, they would already solve that problem by now. So we have to be solution driven, where we are focusing on our own happiness, on our own peace, on our own joy. And then we're able to bring somebody in that occasion, in that equation, where we can add to them and they can add to us, and we can be one together, happy, joyful, and peaceful. Good evening, James. Thank you so much for joining. So the question is, I need you all to share this out, invite someone. Are you solution driven or are you problem based? What does that mean, Coach O? Let me tell you. Are you spending more time talking about what you're going through? Are you spending more time talking about the problem? Are you spending more time talking about the solution and talking about the situation than you are a potential solution? You don't know if it's going to work. It don't matter if it works. But what does matter is you're going to try something. You're going to try something different than what you're doing. You're going to try something different than what you already know it has proven not to be working. You're going to try something different. You know, when you're going in the wrong direction, and you have already come to the conclusion that you are going in the wrong direction, does it make good sense other than, I know you can't turn into the authorized, you know how on the road they say only authorized vehicles, and you know if you turn in there you'll be fine, but you're waiting. Sometimes you have to go a little bit farther down just so you can get to an exit to turn around. But once you get to that point, you don't keep going. Once you come to the conclusion that you're going in the wrong direction, you don't keep going the wrong way. You turn around. You do what you have to do to get yourself back on track. But you don't stay in that problem and just keep going on and on and on and on. And you keep heading in that direction. You keep going north when you should be driving south, right? So are you a part of the problem, or are you a part of the solution? Are you looking for a solution? Do you enjoy being in the problem? Now, I know somebody is thinking, who would want to stay in a problem? Who would want to stay in a problem? You remember the guy that was, 33, he made all type of excuses. He said, ain't nobody helping me. Every time I tried, somebody got in front of me. How bad do you want your problem to be fixed? How bad is it that you want to go to the next level? How bad is it that you want things that you're experiencing and encountering to turn around? So the next question is, how long are you going to keep doing the same thing? Talking to the same people, talking to them about the same stuff. You got people that you have talked to for years and they don't have a new conversation because they're not doing anything different. They don't have nothing new to talk about. So why you keep talking to them about the same problem, thinking you're going to get a different solution when they don't have nothing else to say? They still remember when you was in school. There's got to be growth. Staying in the problem is the comfort zone. That was me. You coming out? You out of there. You out of there. What zone? We ain't got no zone. We got to get outside the box. I know we've been conformed, to stay inside the line, color inside the line. Color outside the line, you have permission. It's your painting. You do what you want to do. Good evening, Shay. I was part of the problem. We got to be solution-based. It's time for you to jump ship, get on another team. If you on the problem team, I need you to come over here to the solution side. I need you to get on the solution side. Good evening, Shay. I think I said it. I'm not sure. I need you to get on the solution side. I need you to say, how am I growing in the things that I am going through? How am I growing? Because see, listen, when you grow through what you're going through, you can't stay there. You're not going to stay in that pit because you're going to explode. Your expansion will make an explosion where you can no longer stay in that place of comfort. You can no longer stay. See, when you become aware, getting ready to do a series on awareness, it's going to be awesome. When you become aware of the things that are surrounding you. Yes, ma'am, you did. When you become aware of the things that are hindering you, you have to shake it off. You really have to shake it off. Now, ask yourself, how am I growing? How am I growing through the things that is trying to hinder me? The relationships. How am I growing through the mistakes that I made? How am I growing through, the bad decisions I made? This is not for you to judge yourself. You did what you did. Shake it off. Shake it off. Don't let nobody tell you you're not worth anything because you made some bad decisions. You did some crazy stuff. They did too. Shake it off. But you got to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, how am I going to grow through this? How am I going to grow through this? Stop asking yourself how you going to go through it. Ask yourself how you going to grow through it. What am I going to learn? How am I going to use this in my future? How can I put this in my portfolio as a lesson learned? How can I say that, in school, you have to have, prerequisite, right? A prerequisite before you get in the next class, you got to be in took a certain class. Before you can get in the 12th grade, you got to be in completed the 11th grade. And I know for some people, you say you got double promoted, all these different sorts of types of things. Okay. But you ain't promoted from the 9th to the 12th. Not the average person. I don't know nobody. But anyway, if you did, good. But the average people, they went to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Some people, with the exception of a few, being double promoted. Okay, we got you. But there's levels. There's levels. But then there's a thing that is called a leap. And that leap is referred to as a quantum leap. Sometimes you can take huge steps. Do you know that you can change your life by making a decision? You can go from being here to here by making a decision. But we have to decide that. Good evening, Nikita. Thank you so much for joining. You have to decide that I'm going to grow. I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm growing. I am going to grow. You have to decide that I'm going to grow and not just go through this stuff. I'm growing. And see, you got to make up in your mind that I'm not just going to go in it and see how it's going to land. I am going to grow in this thing, and I'm going to come out on the other side as a winner, as victorious, as an overcomer. You got to have in your mind that I will not be defeated by this foe and no more, right? I will not be defeated by this foe. This thing has taught me how that I should be responding to things that was trying to get me down. Do you know you have some people in your life that are trying to get you down, make you feel bad, to make you feel like you're not worthy, that you're not anything? Good evening, Robert. Thank you so much for joining. But you got to say the thing that I am going through, I am growing in it, I am expanding, I am getting bigger, I'm becoming wiser. Come on now, somebody. You got to realize that the things that you're growing through, you are learning. And as I like to say, you take the lesson and you leave the pain and you apply the lesson that you learned from the last thing to the new thing, and that's how you're able to go through it a lot quicker in peace. It don't have to rattle your cage as much as the last time did when you didn't have no experience. You got experience now. Don't let nobody tell you don't have no experience. You don't let them tell you that you're underqualified. You have the qualifications because you done been there, done that. You're growing. Come on. We are growing through this thing. You got to make up in your mind. You have to be determined. You have to say, I'm going to persevere. I am growing in peace, not in pieces. Come on. I like that. You're going to have to go in peace and whole, right? You're not going to be in pieces because you're putting this thing together. Even though you're having to face some stuff, even though you're having to go through some stuff, it's not going to take you out. It's not going to kill you. And you know what we say, whatever don't kill us, it makes us stronger. I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm growing to know how to respond. I'm growing to know how to respond. I am growing in peace. I love it. I'm growing. See, you can go through some stuff and you don't have to be no shipwreck. You can go through some stuff where you know how to respond and not react. You can go through some stuff and be proactive and not reactive. You can go through some stuff because you know how to handle this thing because you are growing as you go. You're growing as you go. How are you growing? Ask yourself, am I? Thank you so much, Robert. Ask yourself, am I solution driven or am I problem based? Am I always talking about my problem? Am I staying in my problem? Am I complaining about my problem? Or am I actively seeking for a solution where I am going to execute? I am going to execute my overcoming. I am going to execute it. Why? Because I am going to go and I'm going to go and I'm going to go. And while I am going, I am going to grow. I am going to grow. I am going to grow. And not only am I going to grow, I'm not going to grow by myself. I am growing because I'm taking people with me. I am growing because I am taking people with me. Because how many of you know that nothing that you do big, you can't do it by yourself? If you got this solo mentality that you're going to do this thing by yourself, you're not planning to do much. You got to say, I'm going to grow, and I'm not going by myself. Then you got to protect your circle. You got to know who you're friends with. You got to know what you got around you. You got to know what's going on. You can't grow with everybody. You can't grow with everybody, but you got to grow with somebody. You got to find the people. You got to be connected with the people that you're going to grow with. Because if you're going to do anything big in life, it would not be by yourself. It would not be by yourself. So are you solution driven? Or are you problem-based? One at a time. One at a time. One at a time, Robert. And when you think about the things that you're doing, and when you think about the things that you're going through, when you think about the things that you face, and as you really think about them, you meditate on them, and you say, you know what? Thank you so much. God bless you, Shay. You're welcome. You know what? You say, as I'm going through this thing, you say, you know what? I'm growing while I'm going. And I'm not going to go by myself. I'm not going to have to go by myself. I'm not going to have to take this thing by myself. I'm not going to have to do this thing by myself. That I have power. I have a powerful circle of people that want to go with me, that want to grow with me. I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm growing. Come on now, somebody. I'm growing as I'm going through what I'm going through. I'm learning. That's all growing is. You're learning. You are learning. You're learning. You're learning. You're taking the lessons and you're leaving the pain. And then you're able to stack those lessons on top of new problems. And as you continue to stack lessons learned on new problems, those problems, they become smaller and smaller until they become non-existent. The things that we call problems. Good evening, Shariah, Sarah, I'm sorry. Lindsay. Those problems, as you continue to stack lessons on top of your pain, they become smaller. Yes, I'm learning so much and growing. Yes, look, if you're not a part of the BBB challenge, it's free. We're doing this thing for the free. We're going to do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5:30 in the morning before you get your day started. 5:30 in the morning. If you want to be a part of it, come and join us. Good evening, Nana. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to be talking about business, body, baby, and our bank account. It's been powerful to me. It's 15 minutes of talking, teaching, or whatever you want to call it, and then 15 minutes of actually moving your body. If you want to join, there will be a link after this live. But look, grow. Make this year a year of growth. Grow. Grow to where you expand so big and so much that you can't stay where you are. That's what I want you to do. I want you to grow so big that you can't stay where you are. You cannot keep doing what you're doing because you're growing so much. You can't stay in that place. You're going to grow. Your business is going to grow. The love in your relationship is going to grow. The love for yourself is going to grow. Your self-esteem is going to grow. It's going to grow so big that you cannot stay where you are doing the thing that you're doing. Because why? You're playing it small. You're playing small because you don't feel like you are big enough. So grow. Learn what you need to learn. Do what you need to do. Go through what you need to go through, but don't stay where you are. One thing that you can't do is stay where you are. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep growing. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep growing. Come on, let's do it. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep growing. Make that commitment to yourself. I got to keep going. I got to keep moving. I got to keep growing. not just for myself, but for my kids, for my family, for my legacy, for those that I have been assigned to. I gotta keep going. When you feel down, you just say, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep growing. I gotta keep moving. I can't quit. You can't quit. You know why you can't quit? Because you've come too far. You've done too much. You've experienced too much. You've seen too much. And now you need to take what you've seen, what you've learned, what you've experienced, what you've encountered. You need to take it and share it so somebody else won't have to go through what you went through. The learning curve can be a lot smaller, right? Listen. You got to go. You got to move and grow. Don't stay in the same place, doing the same thing. Don't keep talking about what happened with COVID in 2020. You're still here. I want you to get up and I want you to do something different. But while you're doing what you're going through, I want you to remember that you're stronger than you think. You can do more than what you think. You can handle more than what you think. You're smarter than what you think. You're wiser than what you think. And you have more in you than you think. You got to keep going. I want you to be, a powerhouse in 2021. Don't let no situation, no circumstance, no problem. Don't let no woman, no man. Don't let no job, no boss. Don't let no chick. Don't let none of that stop you. Make a decision that you're going to grow. And if you're married, say you're going to grow together with your husband, your wife. If you're in a relationship with your boo, with your babe, if you're going to grow, you're going to grow in your business. You're going to grow in your skills, your potentials. You're going to grow in your faith. You're going to grow. This is a year of growth. We're growing. We're going. And we're expanding. I am super excited. I'm so grateful. And I'm getting ready to get out of here. I got another call here in about 50 minutes. But I hope that you will find where you are. Find the solution to the thing that you're experiencing. Don't stay in the problem, but grow in it. Grow in it. While you're going through what you're going through, be grateful. Be grateful. Be grateful because it could have been worse. There are people worse off than what you are. There are people going through more than what you are. There are people that got bigger problems than we do. So what we got to do is be grateful for what we have and grow in it while we're able to grow. I want you to expand this year. Do more, be more, and have more. Look, I need you all to share this out. If you're new to me, this is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I'm known as your procrastination strategist, your behavior change expert. I help you to build unshakable confidence. Stop procrastinating. You got it. Get your dreams out of your head into your life. This is the year that we're going to grow while we go through what we go through. I'll talk to you later. Bye.